Back now on Triad today, and we welcome to the program just a wonderful guest who comes to us from Brazil originally, and we're so proud to have her. And she's now a native North Carolinian, I guess. It's Mariana Toledo, and she is Marketing and Communications Coordinator with the good folks at PART. Welcome. How you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
Earlier in the week, you guys did something called a Dump the Pump Day. What was that all about?
Yes, well, Dump the Pump Day, which was on June 16th, is a national day, and it just highlights alternative transportation, and it's really there to encourage people to try something other than driving alone, and hopefully once they do that, they can see how much they save. Yeah,
and we'll get to the savings and to alternate forms in a second, but I was also struck by some things that you actually sent me in an email about a two-car family, and I thought that was interesting what the savings were if you just, before you do anything else, before you look at getting on the bus or whatever, and you got two cars. What if you got rid of one of the cars and somebody else rode on the bus? What did you figure out the average family would?
It's around $10,000 for just having one car and using public transportation for the rest of it.
Yeah, because you've got maintenance and insurance and everything that goes with that. So that's an interesting thing. So you got two cars, you can get around with one and the other person or alternate and take the PART bus. And that brings us to riding PART. What are some of the overall benefits to riding PART to and from work? Not that you can't use it to go shopping or to do fun things or go to the doctor's appointments, but what's the benefits of riding PART?
Other than savings, I think the main benefit is the connectivity and how you can connect to other cities and other places, especially to job opportunities, to hospitals and education, to schools.
Yeah, and we've had testimonials that we've heard about with people who are trying to go back to school, going to a community college, for example, people that need to get to work, and maybe they don't have transportation, but you want to keep people in the workforce, you want to keep people employed, and you want to keep them riding and moving, and that's what's so important. Now, because these are tight budget times, PART, like everybody else, is trying to look at creative ways to keep running and keep the services going. And that meant that you guys came up with a fare increase. So I guess I'm going to ask you, how much of an increase is that? Who does it affect? Does it affect all the passes? Does it affect all the riders? Does it affect all the routes? Give me sort of a rundown.
Right. Well, the fare passes only increased by 20%. It increased for all of our fare prices. Our regular single ride ticket went from $2 to $2.40. Our 31-day fare passes for full price went to $74.50. For half fare price, it went to $37.25. And then for our 10-ride passes, they jumped up to $24 for full fare, and then for half fare, they're $12.
So not a big increase, and I think it's good that everybody sort of takes more on that they can. But when you mentioned $2.40, that seems like an odd amount. Why wouldn't you have rounded it off to $2.50? I'm not picking at you, but I'm just wondering, why didn't you round it off to $2.50?
Well, it was mainly due to federal regulations under Title VI. Technically, we are not allowed to increase 25% or more without having a study conducted on the fare and service structures.
Yeah, and you come, as we said, you were born in Brazil and you traveled around the country, and you've seen how it is in larger cities where people depend on a metro bus or they depend on a subway, and these are things that are subsidized by taxpayers, and yet people down here sometimes don't seem to understand the advantage to keeping people fully employed and keeping them able to get to jobs and able to get to college. Where in bigger cities, it's just a natural thing that we're going to help out and subsidize that, right?
Right. I think what it comes down to is how much funding each service can get and where that funding is going to come from.
Yeah, and of course we're hoping that at some point that the counties will all pitch in and help with that, because as we say in other areas, in other metropolitan areas, it's just a natural thing. I mean, just like you fund a public library, you fund a metro, you fund a subway. What do you like about riding a PART bus? I mean, we talked about the saving money. We talked about saving on not being so dependent on foreign oil, and it helps the environment. What's fun about riding the PART bus?
I mean, for me, I just recently graduated, but for me, it's not only comfortable. The seats are very nice. They even recline back sometimes, but it's just the amount of stuff you can get done on a bus.
Yeah.
If you want to study, if you even want to just meet new people and talk to.
Sure. I wish I had a recliner here that I could meet new people. They won't let me recline that much. Well, Mariana, thanks for doing this. Hey, let's put up the website there, www.partnc.org. They have information about the new fares that are going into effect, and so check that out. And I believe, July it's going into effect?
July 1st.
July 1st. All right. We'll be right back after this.